Hey, when's it time to make a call on that second ruckman with Tippo to be that second ruckman? Nothing against Jacobs, and where McKernan's been, I think it's been great. And I know you want to keep Tippo forward as long as you can, but
yeah, I think we learned a lesson in that Hawthorn game when Tippett was dominating Schoenmakers. I know he wasn't kicking goals that day, but he was taking a lot of marks forward. When we take Jacobs off, Tippett goes in the ruck, then we've just got, say, Tex in our forward line, where it just feels like we're one tall short. So I think we've got the balance right. I think using either Tippett in the ruck or using Josh Jenkins in the ruck, or when McKernan's been in, he's been really good in that role as well. So I think we like the balance of the side at the moment, playing with Jacobs in the ruck and either like a Jenkins or a McKernan, with Tippett going in there for little patches as well. I think that just sort of frees Kurt up, and I think he's enjoying his sort of run around in the ruck as well.
Which of the players in the SANFL that you haven't been able to fit into your team is causing you the greatest anguish? Which one does it hurt you most to leave out? There has to be someone like...
Yeah, there's plenty. I mean, the one that you see dominates every week is Brad Symes. I mean, he's one that just keeps getting the ball for centrals. Would be great for us on the wing. But then you've got to say to him every week, we've got David McKay's playing well. We've got Rory Sloane's playing well on the wing. The other one I really like, who's a young kid, is Luke Brown. He's playing. Didn't play last week for Norwood. Yeah, but he can come in and play a role for us as a small defender. He has played a little bit as a forward too at Norwood. They're probably the two, I guess, that stick out. Andy Otten's having a tough season because he's such a good player, but with Sam Shaw coming in and playing well, Daniel Talia, with Rutten, Dowdy's playing really well. We just can't seem to get him in the side, So there's a bit of anguish with a few players, and also too, I mean, everyone talks about how unlucky Tom Lynch is, but trying to fit him in that forward line at the moment with Petrenko, with Wright, with Porplesia, with Walker and Tippett. It's just really difficult at the moment. But I think he understands the situation, and most of those guys would walk into almost any other AFL side at the moment.
You're 9-2. It'd have to go horribly wrong for you not to make the finals. So you'd have to have one eye on the management now of the team for blocks of weeks that coaches do to build them up before finals. Is that on the agenda? And then also selection of players, whether it be to rest them or to get players in to see whether they can. These guys can stand up in finals.
Yeah, like what you said, the first way you phrased it with managing players, I think sometimes we say rest, and it's better to term it managing. And at the moment we're getting away with managing our players during the week. And you guys know, but the public would be amazed how long it takes a player to recover from the weekend's match. So we played on Friday night. We've still got players who won't train tomorrow, which is what is tomorrow, Wednesday. We've still got players that won't train tomorrow because they're still sore physically. They haven't been able to get themselves up from Friday night's game, which is quite unbelievable to know that players physically now, the game is so demanding, it's barbaric at times that just does take that long to physically get yourself up. So we'll certainly manage players throughout the week, but we would be foolish if we didn't consider, and I'm not saying we're going to do it, but we have to consider opportunities to give players a mental and physical break at some point later in the season.
So you got players played Friday night and can't train till the young players.
Wednesday,
what's wrong with the
Well,
young?
Paddy D's got a bit of a sore hammy. You're not going to flog him and do him in the training. See, Cornesy would have Sando, and Rowey, get out there, Sando, get out there. You're doing a hammy.
Actually, let's talk serious about Paddy Dangerfield. Rowey thinks he's got a hammy.
Well, no, not a hammy. He's a bit tight through the hammy region.
Oh, he was actually crook. He was crook on over the weekend, so he hasn't been able to tick those recovery boxes as much as what we would have liked early in the week. So, as you said, Rowey, it would be foolish to get him out there and say, come on, Paddy, you've got to do what everybody else does. Everyone's program now is individually tailored to, and we get the advantage now where when you and I were playing, Rowey, that we individually GPS each player. We get a printout after the game of exactly how far they ran, but also at what speeds. So a player, for example, like Matty Yench, he ran more at top speed, which is above 28 k's an hour, than he's ever done in a match so far this year. So. Really? We can actually say to them, okay, you've had this happen this week. Well, we'll actually adjust your program this week to compensate for that. Whereas another player might have ran 2.5 k's less than his average, so we can actually dose him with a bit of extra aerobic conditioning that week as well. So it's a lot more scientific than perhaps it's ever been. and we've got the ability to monitor each individual, which is great.
Is he a cheeky young fella? A bit of a rascal? Matty Yench?
Yeah, he's number one. I think Walker, probably him and Walker would fight it out, who's got the biggest cheek.
There's something about him, like, really. There's something compelling about him.
Yeah, there's something. I mean, he's a fantastic teammate to have in the club rooms because he does provide that energy within your clubhouse, which you like. But yeah, he's certainly a bit of a ratbag.
Your list management is falling into place. Danger, Walker, well done. We signed him for 3 years. Douglas and co. One piece of the jigsaw to go. Kurt Tippett.
Yep.
And if you heard Tex Walker last night, he said give him a 10-year deal. And if he doesn't sign, I'm going to go around and burn his house down.
Yeah, it's good. Those boys get it. Those boys have got a great chemistry together, and they
Haven't
play
they?
so well together. And
Yep.
you know, for insiders at the footy club to see how much they work at their game together during the week as well, it's great. So I would certainly love for Kurt to stay. I know our supporters would too, and as senior coach, I would love for him to put pen to paper. But these things, sometimes we don't understand how complicated they can be for whatever reasons. But we're quietly confident that Kurt will get it done for us sooner rather than later, hopefully.
When you say sooner rather than later, the next 2 weeks?
Oh, I don't know, Robbie. I don't know. Hopefully it's tomorrow, but it might be the week after. It might be the week after that. I'm not sure, but
Okay.
I try and stay out of that as much as I can. And but I can tell you that Kurt does love playing here. It's one of those things. He does enjoy the footy club. He loves the environment. I've got a good relationship with him, and he's playing
He'll
some good
stay.
footy. So
Tex said you saved his career.
me,
That was his quote.
I'm not sure.
Sando
about
saved my career.
that. I do like Tex. I get on well with him.
He's a ripper, isn't he?
I'll tell you a story. We did have a conversation in Perth when he was in the negotiation phase, and just jokingly I said to him, you know, how far you got, Tex, before we're going to get your signature? And he said, I'll sign tomorrow if you promise me you'll never play me down back. So I said straight away, done.
You put your hand out and he shook your hand.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, in one of the games he did end up down back for some reason. He got lost, I think, and he got caught holding the ball. He just thought he had all the time in the world, and so I don't think he likes heading down that part of the ground.
Well, a lot of guys. It's good to send guys back down there every now and again.
It actually is good for their development, I think, if for a forward to spend time down back, yeah.
This is a dangerous game this week because they're a team that haven't had a great year but are capable of turning it on. What concerns you about the Kangaroos?
No, you're right. I mean, it's a game for us. For some reason, we've been, not that we've been underdogs, but we've been in these matches where everybody feels, you know, this is a great test for us. This is a good side you're playing, but you're right. This is a game, I guess, on paper it looks like we should go in as favourites and we should go over there and win. We'll certainly be confident as a playing group and as a coaching group. We'll analyse this team and try and break it down as much as any other team we play. But it's a good challenge for our footy club because we've got to go over there and ensure that we play that style, that brand, that Crow's Way we've called it, that gets us results. So, yeah, we'll certainly be going over there with a really steely mindset and ensure that we get the best out of our group this week.
Tell us a bit more about that, the Crow's Way. Is that a term you've coined? Or
a little bit. I think it's just something that we talk about internally, and there's certain acts or there's certain ways that we go about things that get us results. And one thing is we play contested football. You know, we're number one in the competition. We like to think that we're a strong tackling side. We didn't get that on the weekend. We love and you know, Robbie's talked about it with Tex, but Tex understands now that as a forward, he's expected to defend as a forward, and conversely, our defenders are expected to attack as well. So there's all these things that come together to produce this Crow's Way, this Crow's method that we know we're playing well when we're all joining in, and that's, I guess, a quick summary of it. But
Brenton Sanderson for Wholesome Concrete. We've got to let him go. He's very busy. We've got Mick Malthouse coming up. Your 9 wins, your 2 losses. Just give us a quick out of 10 for the halfway mark. You're exactly halfway. Give the team an out of 10.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I don't know if we're anything out of 10. We're certainly playing a way that we're really proud of, and I've said this from the first day I came in and saw you guys in the studio, is we want to play a way, win, lose or draw, that you're going to be proud and you're going to enjoy watching, and I think we're seeing that even in the losses we've had against Collingwood, and we were disappointing against Hawthorn, but I think in every game we've played at different stages, you've seen a way that I think you enjoy watching, and you're really proud of how the players are playing, and that's the feedback we're getting, and that's what we keep telling the boys, that the way we're playing will put bums on seats.
Okay.
And
7.5.
yeah, I'd say 7.5.
Done.
Yeah.
Can I have one final question? Just
Yeah.
going back to your GPS stats, where you can measure just how intensely a player runs. Which you mentioned, Matty Jensch ran the most at his maximum speed.
Yep.
Watching the game, I would have thought it would be a Rory Sloane who does that. Who over the course of the year runs hardest for longest?
The player that continually runs the further is David McKay. The player that runs at the highest top end speed is Henderson.
Really?
What else can I?
Where's
say?
Paddy D? Where's Paddy?
Yeah, Paddy D, he's incredible. His numbers are consistently high. He averages about 14.5 Ks a game, I think, Paddy. And he spends about, it doesn't sound far, but he does about 300 metres above 28 Ks an hour. And it's funny because I did say to Veronica the other day, I was driving in the car and said, this is how fast our players run. Like
28 Ks.
Driving in the K, 28.
Yeah.
But if you drive in your car at 28 Ks an hour, she said, that's not very fast, is it? Like,
Get out and run.
Oh, get out and run like Freddie Flintstone.
Exactly, yeah. So
Scotty Thompson, where's he then?
No, he's not the top end speed, but he's the
Continuous.
He's the continuous stuff. Yeah.
He'll be in front of the Brownlow after round 12.
Do you reckon?
He
Scotty?
is having and if he's not an All-Australian, if
He
he
has
can
to be
keep the form up,
All-Australian.
let me touch wood and all those sort of things. Sando's looking
Yeah,
at
well,
me
he's 2
sideways,
votes.
Rowey, shut up. I get that.
He's 3 votes behind in the Coaches Association votes, which means the coaches are seeing him as being
absolutely.
really valuable. I know Pendlebury's up there as well, and Matty Boyd, but he's having a fantastic
He's in the
season.
air, mate.
He's really critical to how well we're playing, and as is Sloane, as is Dangerfield, as is Jacobs, Tippett, Walker, Rutten, Talia. You know, we're having some great output from some key players.
So when Tippo comes up and says to you, okay, don't ever play me back line. Can you shake my hand your side? Will you do it? I want you to run down there now to the Crow shed and do it, please, Sando.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Well done, mate. Thanks for your time.
Brenton Sanderson, Crows coach. Good luck.
No worries. Thanks, guys.